Throw the mouse away. Hello, ladies and gentle people. I'm here to talk about mental health and books. So, from 1999 till 2020, I haven't been able to read nonfiction. I was studying Hebrew. Well, I had that book. A book that's one case down under my microphone, so I can't prove it, that I've got it. You just have to believe me. No, I don't believe you. So I want to document this because I've had the big breakthrough. Out of all the 3 CDs I had the other day, this is the only one I can find now, and I've no idea where the hell the others are, but say from 1996 to 2020 I had a block where I couldn't use Microsoft Word, Microsoft PowerPoint, Microsoft Excel, and if I did use it, it was slap happy, throw look at attempting to use said programs. So this has been okay. So this is what I call the final wall, and we got as far as saying the final wall. When you look down it, what does it look like? And it wasn't just a wall; it was a maze. So I had to do that to get through the maze, which is literally what I am doing in real life. Unfortunately, because I'm doing much more in-depth videos about the history of the earth. I'm calling the project the history of the earth. Because I'm doing that, it's going to take a lot longer. There's no more cowboy mucking about, throwing videos together as fast as possible. So it'll be months before I upload my first video from now. So I want to get this before I disappear off the internet. So this goes back to the Red Book. Funnily enough, whenever I'm studying something, that dominion or empire has a connection to something called a Red Book. So this is the Red Book that I wrote that destroyed my life. Now, I'm trying to ask, how did I wreck my life with writing? How did I wreck my life? Why was it such a drastic thing that it was a psychological barrier to read, to research, to gather information? Why? What's the answer? I don't know what the answer is. I'm looking for an answer. So these books I've owned for 20 years and I've never read them, but I had to have them in case people needed to know about evidence that backs up the Bible. So I've got Josh McDowell, New Evidence That Demands a Verdict. I'm taking these all to Hillcrest, something like that. The bookshop where the church is that whoever told me they turned into a vampire, that place. Hillsborough? Yeah. So I've had evidence and I'm keeping this one, Mere Christianity. Keeping that till I've read it. It's so old, it's got a pamphlet for Tongariro. Room rates, look at that, when he visited the chateau. $475 if you want to stay in the McLaren suite. Wow. Yep, Mormonism, how to get Mormons saved, how to get Jehovah's Witnesses saved, how to get Jews saved, Catholics saved. Is it Scientology? Buddhists, Hindus, Christian Scientists, Unitarianism, Islam. This was really for my degree, so I'm selling it because it's a PDF file. You don't have to sell. I don't know. this can be used for outside of religion, because there isn't much to do with Christ in here. The sources referring to Christ in here, scholars have debunked them. So maybe I keep this as a, because the whole history of Earth is nothing about religion. I'm leaving religion out of it altogether, the whole project. So the only religious aspects I'll add is flat earthers who believe, Christian flat earthers who believe the Bible cover to cover, an inerrant word of God, who believe the moon is fake, that the earth is flat, that space doesn't exist, the ISS doesn't exist, rockets go into the ocean, they don't go to space because space obviously doesn't exist. So that's the only religion that I'll add. Mud flood Christians, and worse, but I can't say the word because it's quite awful. So these books are from Rotorua, Treasures from Bible Times. Treasures from Bible Times. I'll put the cover on now. I've ended up with 2 of these. I think I got 2 for $5. So not of any interest to me anymore. I'm interested in treasures from the past, but I don't want anything to do with biblical anything. Dictionary of Biblical Archaeology. No, it's just no, I can't. I've never read them. People with diabetes, there you go. That's from Rotorua. That's when I got first diagnosed as type 2. Yeah. Bible Users Manual. We got Torah Blessing. Finney's Systematic Theology. This is from the bookshop that I'm going to on Thursday. I'll just say I've got these all here. Do you want them all back? Dirk Prince Foundation Series. What else? All the other stuff's good stuff. And of course the hardest of all, I have burnt and destroyed most of the creationist material. That's an achievement in and of itself. So skeptics versus those who know that the earth is only 6,000 years old. Oh man, I used to do this as a kid. Make little library cards for my puppets. Oh, there's the evil man. The evil one himself. I am the evil one. Da 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 da. So I was angry at the world for not getting saved fast enough. The whole world wasn't getting saved fast enough. And I was buying all these books to get the world saved fast enough, faster than was humanly possible, because we were always in revival. Whatever church I switched to, a revival was coming, So I had all these books ready. When revival hits, here I am. I'm going to take over the stage. I will preach from here on, because I know everything, because I own the books and I've never read them. This is a mental illness that is way out there. So that's why I'm trying to explain. What the hell? I mean, I don't understand. Something mentally blocked me from reading nonfiction till yesterday. And I guess I had to have I can't say it's nonfiction. Even though nonfiction was a part of it, the block was research. The last research I did was for a paper on Gregory the Great, Gregorius Maximus, at Carey Baptist College. So since then, there's been some brain damage or some psychological damage happened that I just couldn't research anything. So using the software to input research, I got that back a week ago, and yesterday I got back nonfiction. So I'm just trying to document this because it's crazy. So even back then, when I was a full-on Christian trying to get the world saved as fast as possible, something inside me was buying these non-Christian books for demonic reasons, obviously. So heraldry, sources and symbols and meanings. Oh, beautiful. Calligraphers. I love writing. It's my biggest thing. Great Adventures of Vikings. Ancient Egypt, which the second box below the microphone is full of Egyptian material. Life among the Incas. So, what was I going to say? I went, because of my belief that the world was going to get saved, another revival was coming, the world needed Christ, there was going to be the last revival before the Antichrist comes. I decided that I was going to study not just the New Testament, not just the Old Testament, but all the cultures and religions and everything around them. And that's why part of me bought these under the Christian rainbow, for proof that the wicked savages. I've just been reading this book. This is the book that the whole project started with back in 2002. It's been out of date. It's got words like savages for Native Americans and stuff. It's just okay. I have to censor that a bit. So there was a belief that learning life about places outside of the Bible would help me witness better to the non-believers, to the heathens, the savages. Because I would know all about their culture. I mean, I knew all about their culture. See? This one book here knows all about Hinduism, the thousands of years of Hinduism, thousands of years of Mormonism. Shut up, I meant Islam. Oh God, it's all laughable now, isn't it? So that's why I was buying these books to add to the Red Book. That is true. I'm just working this out as I speak. I added that to the Red Book to show people that the Bible was relevant to their culture because everyone comes from Adam and Eve, blah 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 blah, Noah, Shem, Ham, Japheth, blah blah blah, humanity. Therefore, everyone's descended from Adam, therefore everything is relevant to the Bible, henceforth also relevant to the Red Book. So they must read my Red Book and fall on their knees, drop to the floor, cry their eyes out and repent of all their dirty, wicked laundry sins. Is that all the books? So, yeah. You know. Then, of course, there's the other side of everything. I just had this thought the other day, because I'm starting this project from scratch. Like, for the last 20 years, I've done zero about it, except for the Red Book. I could go into the connection between the real world and fiction, the world of Tolkien. It's a it could be a possibility, but then again, it could also be my dragon story. My dragon story is based in a period of Earth's history, but with wizards, fairies, goblins, wizards, if I didn't say that, and dragons. So, bought these books to read and couldn't read them. Superboy, what we got here? What's that? Oink. What the hell is oink? What is that? Oh, it's an eagle! Oh my god! an eagle comic. My mum pre-ordered these from the dairy down the road, and I got one every third Friday. It was my favouriteest thing, next to Mad magazine, obviously, was getting my new eagle. And I honestly don't know what happened to my eagle collection and my Buster collection and the what's the one that the Americans stole? Dennis the Menace and all that. Step into Narnia, The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe, and of course the worst movie ever made, Episode 1. Yeah, I put YouTube on autoplay last night, and somebody was doing the history of the Empire, but was including this crap, so I shut it off. So, my new project is called The History of the Earth. It's not just, well, it is this book. It's this book, and it's going to have cartoons and puppets and music, animation, and it's in the realm of this book. So from 2 billion BC to 1500 AD. Myriad 1 of the Turks is the last page. Myriad 1 and Ottoman Empire, and then we've got the Aztec Empire. So finish with the Aztecs on the last page. Okay, so that's the history of Earth from Australopithecus to the Incan Aztec Empire. That is my new project. That is something I've been wanting to do for 20 years, and I'm doing it now, but with a difference, because it's going to be just pure history minus religion. How that's possible, I don't know. Which is why I might just use the material as a loose foundation of the Dragon story. If it becomes a series, the Dragon series is between Australopithecus and the Aztec Empire. It's a timeline. So I've got heaps of books, and they're under the microphone, so I can't show you. History of the Middle Ages. So these are from, is it Fort Street? There's a bookshop, used to be a bookshop next to a model shop behind Queen Street. Go up one, and that's where I bought the bulk of these things. And so we're going to get into a bit of history, a bit of philosophy, but not religion. Yeah, so thanks for watching. Oh man, these are heavy. Good way to exercise. So, did I get this out clearly? I had a mental block that stopped me from reading any of these non-fiction books that I've got. Any of them. So I was buying them to save the world, because the world was going to hell, because the Antichrist was on his way. Maitreya, the Christ, was here on earth. Benjamin Kren was about to introduce Maitreya to the whole world, and Maitreya was the new teacher, the replacement of Christ. Then we go into tribulation, 3.5 years of voluntary tribulation, then 3.5 years of the mark of the beast on your right hand or your forehead. So I was totally focused on that. My brain didn't have enough leftover energy to care about reading the books that I wanted to read for my project to get the world saved. So it was an insane cycle. It was an absolutely insane goal. So unless somebody else, like Barry Smith, he did, bringing up the Incas, the Mayans, Babylonian empires, Assyrian empires, and that. It's all, the information was coming from him, so I didn't need to read books. And now that I read books, I found out that nothing he said was ever true. So I have to, That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. I'm clearing out all of the lies that I was taught about the beginnings of Buddhism, Hinduism, and all that, and histories of cultures. I'm getting rid of them all, and I'm basically starting afresh now. 20 years later, I'm starting from scratch, unlearning. Okay, so I must have been unlearning all this downtime I've had doing absolutely nothing. Wasn't just downtime, it was undoing it, downloading or emptying thousands and millions of files from my brain of stuff that is not needed. It's irrelevant, it's lies, it's fiction. The greatest fiction, of course, being creation, of which I studied and studied and studied. When I say studied, I listened to Ken Ham over and over and over and over till I could quote Ken Ham and Kent Hovind word for word, because that's all I needed, because they were factual, they were honest. And to save the world, I just had to regurgitate what they said. So this is all new. It's a totally new beginning. This is the history of the world, the history of Earth. The project is called The History of Earth, going from Australopithecus to Aztec Empire. That's the box that it all fits in, and I'm ready to go. And unfortunately, like I said before, it's a lot of downtime. It's a lot of just reading and reading and reading and taking notes and reading before a single episode can come out. There's going to be so much work, but nobody's going to see it. So I have to deal with being called lazy by my family and a dull bludger and a no-hope loser drug dealer. Am I a prostitute in my family's eyes? I don't know. I think once they attacked me for that. Anyway, thanks for watching.